My name's Renee Raville. My business is Simple Life, Simple Health, and I make my own line of all-natural bath and body products, and then I also do the associated spa services. My products are made with all-natural ingredients, and everything is plant-based, and they are for both internal as well as external use. So one of my first jobs was actually helping 10 horse stables and doing cleanup work, which was, at that point, it could only get better. And then the next job that I had was actually working in a cafe.
So out of cleaning the horse stables, what was one thing that you take with you today from that first job? Or maybe that a mentor or your boss for that gave you?
That anything else that I'm doing is truly an improvement, but also to really value the money that you make when you're working, because I worked really hard for it.
Okay. We go out of high school, the majority of us in the United States, and I interview a lot of people who are from other countries, but go to college. Others go into a technical field or work. What did you do?
I actually started going to college.
Okay, where at?
Wayne State University in Detroit.
Okay. Majoring in?
Psychology.
In psychology?
Yes.
So now you have oils you get to put all over them.
Yes.
So, why did you pick psychology?
Well, since it was a war in my family, I felt like learning mental health would be much more affordable than all the help I probably needed. But no, I really like and find how the human brain works to be amazing. I think that it's something that we truly don't really understand very well. I think that we have a lot of learning to do, and I think that there's always new problems and challenges that arise, and so it's something that creates an ongoing challenge for us. It's an area where we will always be learning. After I graduated from Wayne State, I moved down to Houston for a couple years. I knew that I was going to go to graduate school, so I decided to continue bartending, looking at jobs in the mental health field, but I knew that I was going to go to graduate school. So I lived down in Houston for a couple years, bartended down there, and basically had fun for a little while I was figuring out where I was going to go to grad school at.
So you went to grad school at?
I went to grad school. It was the Institute of Transpersonal Psychology, actually in Palo Alto, California.
Still doing that psychology thing.
Yes, I was committed. And then, either way. So I got my master's degree in transpersonal psychology. It was a very holistically oriented program, and that was where I really started to get interested in more natural, holistic approaches to mental health.
So out of grad school, is this when you started to work with the natural, holistic?
I actually did work as a case manager for a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah, with people that had both mental illness as well as a substance abuse problem. I spent most of that time actually working down in Inglewood at a facility down there. And then that was where I got inspired to really start to take the natural health aspect of what I was doing to another level. So a couple things. Some of the groups that I ran with the clientele that I was dealing with had to do with health. A lot of them were very sick. A lot of them were continuing to abuse drugs seriously, like heroin and crack. So I started doing nutrition groups to try to get them healthy. And I would do nutrition groups for people that were on a budget, because one of the things I constantly heard was, I can't afford to be healthy, I can't afford to be healthy, it's too expensive. And it drove me crazy, so every week I would make a huge meal on a $10 or less budget to show them that it was feasible. And then the other thing was that people would say they couldn't afford to take care of themselves. And I really enjoyed doing these things, I really enjoyed making them. All my coworkers were like, you should totally do that as a business. It's clearly what you love. And I decided that I would, in fact, follow through with it as a business, but that my two main points were that healthy does not have to be complicated. It can be totally affordable. And that self-care is not a luxury. It should be a lifestyle.
So start describing some of the products that you now develop.
So because the name of my business is Simple Life, Simple Health, and I really believe in keeping it simple for people so that they don't get overwhelmed. All of my products are plant-based, so my moisturizers are oil-based, the salts are of course salt-based, but everything is all natural, plant-based, essential oils, and it's fairly basic ingredients. So I also teach classes and workshops where if you don't want to buy my stuff or you can't afford it, I teach people how they can make their own stuff, and if you don't have the time and it's not your thing, then you can purchase my products. So I have various tinctures. Tinctures are actually one of the things that you take internally. And it's basically herbs that are soaked in some kind of base, vinegar, usually alcohol, and you use them for more medicinal purposes. So I have echinacea, which helps to build your immune system, and a host of others, but that's something that you would take internally. I have inhalers where I infuse the inhalers with different blends of essential oils. So I have some that help with allergies. I have some that work as decongestants, and then I took my Peace and Calming blend and turned that into an inhaler, which helps with anxiety. I have moisturizers, which are oil-based. You can use on your body as well as your face. I have toners that you can use to kind of balance the pH in your skin after you get out of the shower. And a lot of people really like using them as little spritzers because they smell yummy. I have bath salts that you can use in your bath, or I actually have a couple people that are on their feet a lot, so they'll put them in like a foot soak for themselves, and it helps with sore feet. And then I have my scrubs, which is probably my favorite thing because it has oil in there, it has sugar, which helps to exfoliate. It smells good because it has essential oils in it, and you can use it in the shower to exfoliate and moisturize so that when you get out, you don't have to put on lotion, and then you're not jumping to get in your pants and your skin's not sticky. It just takes care of everything.
Through this process of developing your packaging and stuff, what was one of the things you had to overcome?
So labeling. I've had more issues with labeling and printing than I ever even realized was possible. So I truly, truly appreciate now the help that I have with coming up with labels and printing because it was an ongoing challenge. Because I changed up my labeling, and then I also changed up my bottles, and now I use glass bottles because it's greener, and then also the plastic would get convoluted and weird from the oils and stuff that were in it, which I just didn't even think of. So yes.
All right, so what I want to finish on is, being that you're an entrepreneur now and going through this, what is one thing that you've learned being an entrepreneur that you can give to someone else in the audience out here that might help them in their business?
So I think it's twofold actually for me. First was do the things that you fear. When I first started doing this, I would get freaked out talking in groups of people, and now I'm being interviewed in front of a whole group of people. So I've come a long way with that, to just get in there and face it and do those things over and over and over. But the other big thing is to follow through on every lead that you get. Somebody told me that, and it has been so true, and it has been so fruitful. So I have a system. It might take me a while to follow through, but I will always follow through with every connection and every suggestion that somebody sends me, and it has totally proven to be worthwhile.